Okay, so we are going to start with temperature compensation in strain gauges. Now, since we are starting with temperature compensation in strain gauges, I would like to clarify when do we compensate something. If that thing is extra, we need to compensate for it. Okay, okay. Suppose I'll just explain you. In strain gauges, what do you do? You in strain gauges, we know that we measure change in strain, right? In strain gauges, what do we measure? Change in strain, and this is measured with change in resistance. Like whenever strain is changing, we know that resistance will change. Okay, due to the change in longitudinal strain and lateral strain, automatically something will change, that will be change in resistance. So ultimately we also know that whenever there is a resistance change, so we know that R is equal to R naught into 1 plus alpha T. So whenever there is resistance change, okay, and what you can say indirectly, suppose this is the, rather than saying resistance change, I'll change the way we speak. Suppose this is the initial resistance. I will say whenever there is temperature change, just listen. Whenever there is temperature change, suppose this is the bar, okay, and initially suppose it was at a temperature T1, and after some time the environmental temperature is changing, and due to which the temperature has changed to T2. So whenever there is temperature change, automatically this initial resistance will change to some new resistance, because we already know, since we have studied strength of material, that R is equal to R naught into 1 plus alpha T. So whenever this, is there anyone with doubt? 18ME85? No doubt. Okay. So what I'm saying is, whenever there is temperature change, okay, automatically the initial resistance will change to some new value, which is called as final value. Okay, that value is denoted by R. So what do we understand? Whenever there is resistance, see, there are two ways. One, there can be strain. Okay, this strain induced is actually the desired input. Okay, if you understand the word desired input that we have covered initially, this strain is the desired input. Okay, the loading that we will do, that will be the desired input. Now what I'm saying, with desired input, suppose there is some kind of an interference and modifying input also into the system. Okay, there is some kind of an interfering, you can say, and modifying input. Okay, this is also acting on the system. So this interference and modifying input, now we know that whenever there is strain change, automatically resistance will change. So desired input will lead to change in resistance. But suppose there is some kind of an interference input. Now consider the temperature of the system is changing. So if the temperature of the system is changing, automatically the resistance of system will also change due to change in temperature. So what is happening? This temperature is acting as an interference, or it is acting as a modifying input, which will also lead to change in resistance. Okay, I hope you're getting. Is everyone getting what I'm saying? So what I'm saying, there can be, what I'm saying is temperature, one second, what I'm actually saying is temperature will act as an interfering input or modifying input. So I am saying T will act as interfering input or a modifying input, leading to change in resistance. Okay, leading to change in resistance. Okay, now this T, change in T, okay, if there is change in T, there will be some kind of extra input which will lead to change in resistance. So we won't be able to measure the actual strain. So measurement of actual strain, okay, will have some error, right? Simple, will have some error. I hope everyone is getting. So measurement of actual strain will have some error. Now what I'm saying, if it is having some error, now suppose resistance was to change by, suppose only by 10 ohm, and suppose I'm just giving you an example, and due to this interference input, resistance is changing by 11 ohm. So there is some kind of a change in the actual value of the strain that we are going to measure, because this is actually related to strain. Okay, resistance is actually related to strain. So that is the reason we need to compensate for the temperature. Suppose the system is having, we already know that system will have some kind of an interference or modifying input as a temperature. So what do we need to do? We need to compensate those kind of system. So we need to compensate for temperature. Okay, we need to compensate for temperature. So that is what we call it as temperature compensation in strain gauges. Okay, temperature compensation in strain gauges. I'll just be asking you, why do we do temperature compensation in strain gauge? I am allowing every one of you to be vocal, and you can speak loudly, not an issue. Why do we need, I have given you the authority to unmute yourself. Why do we need temperature compensation in strain gauge? Any one of you can answer.
Sir, due to the change in resistance, due to change in strain.
Due to change in temperature na.
Yes सर, टेम्परेचर चेंज हो जाता है सर रेजिस्टेंस की वजह से, इसीलिए.
Okay, and one more thing I like to add, one more thing. See, suppose my this is my bar of whose strain I want to measure. Okay, suppose this is the bar of whose strain I want to measure. You can also say, rather than strain, you can even write force. Okay, because force is proportional to stress, stress is proportional to strain. So whenever there is force induced, right, whenever there is force induced, automatically there will be strain induced. So suppose this is a bar which is loaded with some kind of a force. Suppose this is a cantilever beam. Okay, I'm just giving an example. Suppose this is a cantilever beam and there is a force acting at the end of the cantilever beam, and I want to measure what is the force acting. So if I want to measure the force acting, what I have to do, I have to install a strain gauge. So what I will put, suppose I am putting just a wire. Okay, this is my strain gauge. This is a basic resistive wire, and this will act as a strain gauge. Now what I'm saying, actually, whenever there is force, okay, whenever there is force, there will be some strain induced into this system, this bar, and due to the strain induced into the system, okay, there will be strain induced also on this system, because this wire is actually connected to this wire is actually connected to this bar. So there is differential expansion. Just listen what I'm saying. There is differential expansion between, differential expansion matlab there is difference of expansion. Suppose the bar is expanding at a different rate and the wire will expand at a different rate due to due to due to the application of force. Okay, so we don't apply force on this wire, we actually apply force on this system and or on this bar, and due to the application of force on this bar, due to the change in strain of this bar, automatically this wire will also lead to some kind of a strain. See, this strain is not like very high in magnitude, this will be in microns. Okay, this force induced on this wire will be in microns, but this will lead to some kind of a strain on this bar. So we want to measure this strain on this bar, so automatically whatever might be the strain on this bar, that will also be proportional to the strain on this wire. It might be less proportional, but it will be proportional. So what I'm saying, whenever there is some kind of a force, there will be differential expansion between bar and strain gauge. Okay, so if there is differential expansion, okay, so what I'm saying, L and A is changing. Actually I am saying L and A is changing. So whenever there is differential expansion of the bar, there will be differential expansion of the strain gauge. So this will lead to differential expansion of the resistance. So there is resistance change. There are two ways in which resistance can change. One is resistance change due to change in temperature. Be clear. One is resistance change due to change in temperature. Suppose this bar is in a system where temperature is varying. Okay. Okay. So one factor which will lead to change in resistance will be temperature, so the resistance change due to change in temperature. And there is one more factor that I would like to mention, that is resistance change due to differential expansion between the bar and the strain gauge. Is everyone clear with this? Just put it in the chat if you are clear with this, what I'm saying. Is everyone clear what I'm saying? There are two causes for resistance change. One will be temperature change,
Temperature.
and second will be differential expansion between the bar and the strain gauge, which will also lead to change in resistance. Okay, is everyone okay? See, I am again putting it for you. If you are not clear, I'll just put it for you. You don't have to worry. Now listen, temperature का क्या बताया? T naught alpha plus 1 जो भी था, R naught, याद है ये फॉर्मूला? तो दिस विल लीड टू टेम्परेचर चेंज. ओके, एंड R is equal to rho into alpha by A. Here also there can be some kind of resistance change. Okay, there is one resistance change due to strain induced, and there is another resistance change due to differential expansion between the bar and the strain gauge. So just get it clear. There can be two interfering factors leading to change in resistance. Okay, is everyone okay? Is everyone okay?
Yes, sir.